Hi there, Tom. So just remind us what El Niño is and how do we know when it's arrived?
Ros, good afternoon. Well, El Niño refers to a period of even up to 12 months where the water temperatures across the central tropical Pacific Ocean are warmer than normal. Now, that not only changes the wind and the pressure pattern across the Pacific Basin, but it also has a flow-on effect on weather conditions across nearly the entire globe. Now, the region that meteorologists monitor to gauge the state of the Pacific is inside this box called the Niño 3.4 region. Now, currently, the sea surface temperature in that box is close to average, although it looks like it will be warming up further, getting close to El Niño levels during the next few months.
So why are meteorologists so confident that El Niño will emerge this year?
So even though the water temperature right now in the Niño 3.4 region is near average, just below the surface there's a slab of very warm water, and generally that will translate to a warming at the surface in the near future. But the other point is that nearly unanimously global models predict that we will see those sea surface temperatures warm past El Niño thresholds within the next few months. What we're looking at here is the Bureau's very own model. It's called the Access S model, and this is an ensemble forecast. Now, what that means is the model is run 99 times to forecast the probability of an event happening. So we can see the 99 forecasts, which are all these lines. Now, every single ensemble member predict that El Niño levels will be reached at some point in May, and then we'll see a continued warming to a very strong or even a super El Niño by the time we hit spring. So a super El Niño just means that the water temperature has exceeded 2 degrees above the long-term average. So it is very likely, Ros, that at some point in 2026 we are going to go into an El Niño.
OK, and how does El Niño typically impact weather here in Australia?
So one of the important features of El Niño is every event is different, and that's due just to the randomness of weather, but also there are other climate drivers, the Indian Ocean and the Southern Ocean. But if we look at historical years when El Niño has developed, there are some generalisations we can make, including we'll have below average winter and spring rain, particularly across eastern Australia, above average spring and summer temperatures, a longer fire season with an increase in the number of extreme hot days and in some areas an increase in the number of heat waves. We'll have a late monsoon for northern Australia and a reduced number of tropical cyclones, and also a decrease in the alpine snow depth. Now let's just have a look at the rainfall in more detail. So what we're looking at here is the rainfall averaged through past El Niño years through the winter and spring. Now you can see eastern Australia is heavily influenced, where we see decile 2 or 3 rainfall in many areas. That means in the lowest 20 to 30% of years. So for example, in New South Wales through winter and spring, rainfall is reduced on average by about 40%. However, dispelling one of the great El Niño myths, El Niños do not bring drier summers to Australia. You can see there is almost no impact on the rainfall across most of the country. Now let's have a look at the temperatures. So El Niño generally brings higher maximum temperatures between winter and summer and minimum temperatures through spring and summer. So for example, between October and December, we can see that temperatures are generally in the top 20% of years through much of southeast Australia. So there are a number of impacts from El Niño, and unfortunately, Ros, it does look like that El Niño will be developing at some point this year.